Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Monotui, coach of the Baltimore Orbeetles. That sounds pretty cool to say. I'm a fan of that. Welcome to the GDL Week 1, the Galler Defenders League, of course, hosted by 6-foot hacks. Draft League, like I said in my last video in the draft analysis, back on the channel, and this week for Week 1, we're going up against Orbeetles, whose YouTube link will be in the description below. His perspective of the match is also already up by the time that this is going to be uploaded, so definitely check out his channel if you want to see his perspective. And his team is called the Miami Mence. Or, I'm sorry. It is the Miami Mence. And his team should be popping up on screen now, if I figure out how to edit in my editing software. His team should be at the bottom right, but if it's not, either way, I'm going to say it out loud right now. Going down the list, he has Gengar, Cinderace, Rotom-Mow, Araquanid, Avalugg, Kingler, Togekiss, Galarian, Stunfisk, Haxorus, and Scrafty. So right away when I was looking at his team, I noticed that he had some very, very good offense. His bulk is not the best, per se. It's a lot of lower tier bulk and a lot of things without necessarily reliable recovery, so things like Galarian, Stunfisk, some lower tier bulk that doesn't have any recovery. Togekiss doesn't have great recovery anymore. I think it relies on like Morning Sun, and I'm bringing spoilers, I'm bringing rain to this game, so it won't be doing all that much for him. Avalugg is lower tier bulk, though it did get a lot better this gen with body press and access to heavy duty boots. And then he has things like Araquanid for webs, and then he has monsters like Gengar plus Cinderace, and even though Cinderace is only allowed to run Blaze right now, still a huge threat. It's a very fast, very strong fire type. If that thing gets in a Blaze, it's OHKO and everything. Has priority and like quick attack, sucker punch, things like that. Has its own form of removal with Core Change, which is nuts. So his team, very, very scary offensively. I don't have a lot of switch-ins to a lot of his offensive threats, although I did try my best to build one, but let's go into our team, and I have built a team of 6 that hopefully will be able to deal with whatever team of 6 that he decides to bring. So, we're starting it off. We're bringing Choice Scarf Dracovish, which has a pretty fun matchup versus his team. In the rain, it's going to be able to 2-hit KO things like Avalugg, which is really impressive. Even physically defensive Avalugg in the rain is going to be 2-hit KO'd by the rain-boosted Fish's Rend, which is really nice. Actually, in the rain, Fish's Rend 2-hit KO Zero-Ko's everything, so I don't really even need to go too much into it. Even like Araquanid, things that resist like that, Rotom-Mow 2-hit KO'd easily, just absolute huge threat. When I send this in and I'm Scarf, he's going to have absolutely no switch in. Like, the only thing he can maybe do is bring in like a Scarf Haxorus, which can immediately revenge kill me. But I do have my potential answers for that. Just standard set, I'm Jolly Max Speed because I wanted to at least speed tie with the Kingler, which is actually like a surprisingly big threat to my team. As you can see, actually puts in a lot of work. If he's like Liquidation plus like a fighting move or like Liquidation Rock Slide or something like that, it can put a lot of hurt onto my team. But either way, that's going to be the Dracovish. Next up, we're going to have the Ferrothorn, and it's mostly a physically defensive Ferrothorn, primarily because this is going to be the best answer that I have to something like the Haxorus, which, whether it's Banded or Scarf or Dragon Dance or Swords Dance, is a huge threat to my team. It's really scary, and it's going to be really difficult to deal with my team. It's also a very nice check to the Kingler. If he does decide to bring it, obviously deals with the Galarian Stunfisk. It can take a hit from Gengar and fire back a Gyro Ball or set up hazards. It can deal with the Araquanid. It can set up hazards versus the Avalugg. Just a very nice utility Pokemon versus this team. Like I said, we are mostly physically defensive because his special threats, it doesn't really deal with all that well. Regardless, like Gengar, it doesn't really deal with all that well. Like Specs Shadow Ball or Focus Blast are going to be able to do a ton of damage to me. Togekiss obviously has fire coverage to be able to hit me, which even in the rain is going to be doing a lot. And even if the rain is up and Flamethrower is not doing much, she can have flinch me down regardless, so it doesn't even matter. So I just wanted a more physically defensive Ferrothorn. This is also going to be our Stealth Rocker for the game. And I slapped Toxic on this with Pre-Bank OU this generation. It's one of the few things that still learns Toxic, which is really nice. And Toxic is very useful because they can hit things like Rotom-Mow or Avalugg, or even something like, Haxorus or Cinderace on the switch-in, which are going to be really nice to poison. Even if Haxorus is Lumberry, I'll be able to burn that, and I'll be able to deal with him afterwards. Just a very nice little tech to have, and then Leech Seed, obviously, for my own recovery. Pretty spammable versus his team. The only thing he can send out into it is the Rotom-Mow to be immune to it, which, like I said, I can Toxic, which can be very useful, and Rotom-Mow doesn't really get anything to hit me outside of maybe, like, Trick to attempt to cripple me. But that's it. That's our Ferrothorn. Next up, we got Scarf Pelipper, which I'm very excited to use. Like I've said in my draft analysis, I've always loved Pelipper. Always wanted to use an offense instead of it. Scarf Pelipper has no switch-in on his team, right? Like, you look at his team, and Hydro Pump plus Hurricane are able to hit the entirety of it. Even then, like, Hydro Pump in the Rain has genuinely no switch-in unless he's, like, specially defensive Rotom-Mow. Like, Haxorus is taking a ton from it. Galarian Stunfisk is going to take a ton from it. Togekiss taking a ton. Kingler might just go down just because its Spadef is so terrible. Avalugg, obviously, like, the best switch-in he has to water moves is going to be the Araquanid, but he's never going to send that in versus something that has access to Hurricane. With the Scarf, I will be able to outspeed everything on his team. 240 Timid does allow me to outspeed a Jolly Cinderace by 1 point, which is really nice. And yeah, there isn't really too much else to go over with this mon. It's very, very strong. It also is Drizzle, so it is going to benefit my Ferrothorn and my Dracovish by getting it the Rain, obviously boosting Fishious Rend and also weakening Fire moves coming into Ferrothorn. So yeah, that's going to be the Pelipper here. Then we got big ol' Butterfree. If you did not watch my draft analysis, you should know, or if you did watch my draft analysis, you should know that this is my Dynamax captain. This is the Pokemon I am allowed to Dynamax. And Hurricane is really, really spammable versus my opponent. As you can see, Gengar, Cinderace, Rotom-Mow, Araquanid, Avalugg, Kingler, Togekiss, Haxorus, and Scrafty all take it super effective or neutrally, which is really, really nice. The only switch-in he has, which I'm sure he's going to bring, is going to be that Galarian Stunfisk. And then, once that thing is gone, my team runs the train through his team. And you're going to see, the entire rest of my team has a way to deal with it. Dracovish Okoves it, Pelipper smacks it really hard with Hydro Pump or Surf. Something like Ferrothorn walls it. Rhyperior hits it with Earthquake, and then Bolton is going to hit it with Extra Belt boosted Fire Fang, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So, Butterfree, as soon as I get rid of that Stunfisk, is going to be so, so good. I can put something to sleep that I'm faster than, and then I can Quiver Up, and then I can go for my Dynamax, boost my own speed even further. At +2, I have speed pretty much everything except for maybe like a Scarf Cinderace, and I'm really, really hoping that this mon's going to be able to put in a ton of work. And again, even though I am pretty frail, once I get my Dynamax off, I will be doubling my HP stat, which will hopefully come into play a little bit later. We're also going to be running Leftovers because we are a sub-variant. Again, I didn't really need all that many moves on this thing outside of the Stab Hurricane, so I figured if I'm able to get up a sub, you know, Sleep Powder, get a little bit lucky with Sleep Turns, I can Quiver Up, stay behind a sub, and then spam my Max Airstream. But either way, I don't have removal, but ideally I will be able to keep hazards off my side of the field, or I'll be able to set up with Butterfree before then. But yeah, that's going to be our Butterfree. Then we have a mostly specially defensive, though still kind of tanky, offensive Rhyperior with a lot of Spadef, some attack investment, and then a little bit of speed. The little bit of speed that I have, whoops, hold on. A little bit of speed is just to potentially outspeed some of the slower things like Stunfisk or Araquanid if they decide to attempt to speed creep me. And then also, the moves we have, Earthquake, Rock Blast, Hammer Arm, and Ice Punch, hit pretty much the entirety of his team. Like Earthquake, Gengar, Earthquake, Cinderace, you know, Ice Punch on the Rotom, etc. It hits pretty much the entirety of his team, which is really nice. And with the Spadef investment and the Assault Vest, I will be able to take hits from things like offensive Gengar. I'll be able to take hits from things like the Togekiss very easily, while still being able to take hits from his physical threats. So I'll still be able to take hits from the Cinderace pretty well. I can still take a hit from the Avalugg if I really need to. I can take on things like the Stunfisk and the Haxorus and the Scrafty. I can take at least one from each of those, even without any physical defense investment, just because my natural physical bulk is really, really nice. But most importantly, this is going to be my Gengar check. The AV is going to be very important, so I can take even less from things like Sludge Wave and Shadow Ball, and then I'll still be able to take Focus Blast relatively well. Even if it's specs, like I'll be able to live it and then knock it out with the Earthquake, which is really nice. And again, I didn't really need rocks on this because I have them on Ferrothorn, and I would rather have the 4 moves, so that's going to be our Rhyperior. And now, lastly, we're going to be going with our Bolton. Now, Bolton is very valuable versus my opponent's team because it's able to outspeed the entirety of it and actually 2-hit KO the majority of it. Like, Thunder Fang will be able to 2-hit KO the Cinderace, Crunch knocks out the Gengar, Fire Fang hits the Rotom-Mow, Thunder Fang obviously for the Araquanid. The only thing I don't really 2-hit KO well, is what's it called? The Avalug, just because even though I have Fire Fang, obviously it's insanely bulky. May not be able to 2-hit the Stun Fist depending on its defensive investment, but I'll still be able to do a lot of damage to it, and that thing doesn't have reliable recovery, so I'll still be, again, weakening that for my Butterfree Sleep later on. It's really, really threatening versus his team. I also am running the Play Rough, as you can see, so that I can knock out the Scrafty in one hit. It's Expert Belt boosted, which is really nice. I didn't really want the Life Orb. I didn't really want to take the Life Orb damage in case he has Sucker Punch on his Cinderace, and I didn't want to whittle myself down to put myself in range of Sucker Punch from the Cinderace. Ideally, that doesn't come into play a little bit later in the game. I mean, I know whether or not it came into play because I played the game already. Sorry. Immersion ruined. But either way, that is going to be the team. I do apologize in advance that this that the team builder and the game are going together, essentially. I'm going to try and make this a separate video at some point. Or I'm going to try and make this a separate video for future weeks. Like, I'll have the team builder video and then I'll have the match video. But I just didn't really have time this week, and to be honest, I completely forgot that today was Sunday. So it's going up now together. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to cut into the game. One more note that I want to make. One, ignore all the nip games, please. Kelly Gem, my team, please ignore them all. And number two, I'm new with recording an Elgato, or I'm new with recording with an Elgato, so it's gonna kind of just take you right into the game. I apologize for that, but yeah, it'll when you see me basically right at the beginning of the game, you'll see my rushed commentary and whatnot. Just pretend everything's normal. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the match. Hey everybody, late recording, here we are. You didn't see team preview, that's fine, I'll add it in later, or not. Draft League, back on the channel. It's back. This is the GDL. I should have had a draft analysis before this went up, as well as potentially a team builder. I'll probably get to doing those, depending on how much time I have. I definitely have time, it just depends on if I have the motivation or not. Anyway, I'll leave like a picture of the team preview before, because I clicked recording a little bit late. Thank you to my good buddy Under the Radar YT for reminding me to click record on the Elgato. I've never done a live recording of a Draft League game, so it's pretty exciting for me. Either way, also, we attempted to do this, by the way, Kelly made all my Pokemon male. That's unbelievably sexist. But also, we're switching into our Rhyperior. We are a Assault Vest on our Rhyperior, so ideally, if he's Scarf and goes for Thunderbolt, we'll be able to take it. Obviously, we'll be immune to it, and then if he goes for a Sludge Wave or something along those lines, I will be able to tank that as well. He does go right for the Sludge Wave. Now, I am a Assault Vest on this Rhyperior. I do have the Solid Rock as well. That also kind of looks specs. He also poisons me, which is hilarious. That's fun. Actually, wait, I can just do team preview right now, stupid. Alright, hang on. There you go, this team preview. For a quick rundown, we have Scarf Dracovish, Fizdef, Leftovers, Ferrothorn, Scarf Pelipper, Leftovers, Quiverdance, Butterfree, and E-Belt Bolton, in addition to the AV Rhyperior that we have out right now. So, looking at his team, he actually has like no Earthquake switch in whatsoever, so I will just stay in and click it. I need to make sure to not Dynamax. I should live the Energy Ball if he does have it because of my Assault Vest and Solid Rock. And again, he does kind of look specs there, because I'm AV and I quad resist that, and it did quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to play off this thing being specs. Either way, I'm going to click EQ. The only real switch-in he has to this is Avalug, but that's not particularly the best switch-in. I was initially Rock Polish, and if I stayed Rock Polish, like if I stayed Double Dance, I might have just won right now, but I'm okay with this. AV is also important because I was very afraid of Gengar in Team Preview. That does a lot of damage. I'm not going to stay in. I want to keep this thing healthy to switch into the Gengar later. So what I'm going to do... I think I can honestly go right out into my Dracovish. I'm not particularly afraid of Avalanche. I feel like he would click Recover first. I could also go into Ferrothorn and use this as an opportunity to get up my rocks, but I don't really want him... Let me see, what does he have on his team again? I I don't have too much time to make my decisions because timer. We're at 30 seconds now. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out into my Dracovish. It's in the rain. I am Scarf Dracovish, not Banded. However, I am in the rain, and Vicious Rend is still gonna hurt quite a bit. So no matter what he does go for the Avalanche. It's not going to be boosted, I believe. And either way, I can just click the Vicious Rend right now. By the way, in case you're wondering why I have a Butterfree and you didn't watch the draft analysis, you are allowed to Dynamax the lowest tier Pokemon that you draft. And I drafted Butterfree as my Dynamax captain, which is really not that bad. With heavy duty boots and sleep powder, you're able to do quite a bit. Let's see how much this does. Oh my god, that's so much. Avalanche won't kill me. It is going to do a decent amount of damage, but we are still healthy and we will be able to knock him out with the Vicious Rend here. So Gengar is Specs. That's important. Let me look at his team again. Gengar is Specs. This thing destroys him completely. I am in range of Sucker Punch from the Cinderace, which is unfortunate. However, I can potentially play around that. And he doesn't know my item yet. He just saw a Dracovish go for Vicious Rend twice in a row. Usually Dracovish is choiced. Versus his team, it would make sense that I'd be choiced. But we're going to have to see. Pelipper should also be able to deal with the Cinderace pretty well. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get anything to really hit me all that hard. Maybe Gunk Shot is the hardest thing it can hit me with. I'm double Scarf. I'm Scarf on Pelipper as well because Hurricane is so spammable versus his team, as well as Hydro Pump. So in comes the Haxorus. He has Mold Breaker, as expected. Now, I do have a Ferrothorn, right? But he knows I have a Ferrothorn. So, I feel like he might go for close combat here. And I want to make the hard read and go into my Butterfree, but I also really don't want to overpredict. I think Pelipper is a decent neutral play. You know, yeah, I'm gonna go hard Pelipper. I don't have too much time to make decisions. But either way, I feel like he would close combat here because it would pick off Dracovish at this point. If I go into my Ferrothorn, that's really bad for him if he just goes for Dragon Claw. So ideally, he goes for close combat. He does. All right, excellent. Still does a lot. I'm not sure if that's banded. I'm trying to not calc because again we have such little time, so I just kind of have to get used to these calcs. I don't really think it matters. I think either way right now, I'm just going to click Hydro Pump because what are the switch-ins to this? I could click Hurricane, but I don't want him making the play out into what's it called? The Stunfisk. And again, Hydro Pump just has no switch-in. Even like worst case scenario, he's not choiced in any way, and he stays in and knocks me out. I get a ton of damage onto probably the biggest threat to my team, which I'm fine with. Like, that'll put it... If he's not choiced also, that means that he's going to be in range of Dracovish right after this. But yeah, I do not see a good switch into this whatsoever. Obviously, I also have to land Hydro Pump. I could have gone for Surf as well. He does stay in, and yeah, alright. Guess I should have gone for Surf. Oh, he Dragon Dances. Cool! That's cool. That's excellent. Well, Pelipper, you served me well, bud. There's the Dragon Claw that's going to knock me out. I have to go into Ferrothorn after this. I'm really surprised he stayed in. I guess, like, he didn't have a switch in, but also I'm still just very surprised. So, pretty sure Ferrothorn's my play. I know he has close combat, but I think because I'm, like, fully Fizz-Def, I should live one. Maybe. And if not, I at least get chip damage off onto it, so I will click Gyro Ball here. I'm not going to be able to get up rocks this game, but hopefully it's not going to be too big of a deal. Yeah, here comes the close combat. We do tank it. That's fantastic. So this should go down to this. It's +1 speed and it's -2 defense. So yeah, we'll be able to get rid of the Haxorus here, which is fantastic. Biggest threat to my team gone, in my opinion. Gengar is still a problem, obviously, but Ferrothorn was primarily here for that. Obviously, Kingler can maybe be a threat. Don't know if I ever thought I would think that, but, you know, it's possible. Though at the very worst, I do speed tie with my my other Mon there. So he sends out his Gengar. The question is, do I let this go down? And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. See, I'll just click. I will attempt to. No, I'll just Gyro Ball in case he's sub. No, he's not sub. I decided that this was Specs earlier. It's got to be Specs, right? There's no way Sludge Wave would do that much to AV Rhyperior if not. The Rain stops, which is not my favorite thing in the world, because I'm going out to Dracovish now. But I accept. Really wish I had Pelipper alive, but is what it is. We will go out into our Dracovish here. I wonder how much Scarf Hydro Pump in the Rain does to -1, what's it called? Haxorus. It probably didn't kill, but either way, after the Dragon Day, it probably would have done enough to the point where I could have gone into Ferrothorn and it would have gone down to 2 Iron Barbs hits. Either way, is what it is. I'm hoping Butterfree can put in a ton of work, as weird as that sounds. He has the Galarian Stunfisk still, obviously, but I can put it to sleep and I can Quiver Up and maybe deal with whatever he wants to do. Plus, after I Dynamax, I'll be getting double the HP. Should be fantastic. So he knows I'm Scarf now. We're able to get rid of the Gengar. He does Curse Body me, which is the best. Because now we can go into literally whatever he wants. If he's set up on Kingler, he can go right into that now. If he's Agility Kingler, he goes into Eugene. That's Eugene Krabs the Kingler. Yep, alright. I think I lose, like, right now, is the thing. Like, what do I do? This is my question. Is there a reason for me keeping Rhyperior at this point? No, not really, unless I want to keep it for the Cinderace, which I do, but I also can't. So, goodbye Rhyperior. If he's Agility, that sucks a lot. Like, I guess he would have been able to get it up anyway, but yeah, there's the Agility. So my only hope is that Butterfree is able to live and knock him out. I'm not stashed on Butterfree, unfortunately. I'm leftovers because I was sub. So ideally, I somehow live a hit, and then we're good. There's also a good chance he just Dynamaxes, because I'm pretty sure this is Dynamax Captain. Yeah. Alright, so he's just gonna knock me out with the Max Geyser. I think Dynamax Butterfree can maybe live one. I know it's not the bulkiest thing in the world. Actually, maybe not. It's the Kingler. Like, obviously, I go down to this. He's gonna set up the Rain. That is gonna make my Hurricanes 100% accurate. But yeah, pretty sure I'm just gonna lose right now. Butterfree it is. Cool. And then, yeah, I kind of just have to Dynamax here. I can Max Guard to stall out one turn of his Dynamax. Yeah, I'll do that initially. I don't know if there's... I mean, I guess there is a point, because he only has one turn of Dynamax after this. Maybe he doesn't have coverage for Dracovish. That'd be cool. Wait, is this Gigantamax Butterfree? Did I give you a Gigantamax Butterfree to Gen, Kelly? That'd be an oops. Alright, so if I lose... I mean, I don't think it matters, because I don't have the move that Gmax Butterfree has. Alright, so yeah. Do I Max Guard again? And hope that... Because I'm thinking, like, Max Airstream's not going to kill him, right? So do I max... No, it doesn't... No, because then he's going to hit me with a Sheer Force Liquidation. I'm just going to Airstream and hope I live this hit. Did I give you a Gmax Butterfree to Gen? I mean to breed. Lol. No, I did not. Okay. Alright, well, I'm dead, so I just lose. I mean, it didn't matter either way. I didn't have the move on Butterfree that makes it makes the GG Max very special. Hello, Kangler. I'm ready to lose to you. So if I hit that Hurricane, I would have had a Pelipper healthy. And that maybe would have prevented me from losing, but also if this Kingler has, Rock Slide, then it didn't matter anyway. Which I don't think it did, because he would have gone for it there, actually. So, that sucks. Yeah, goodbye, Bolton. You did your best. Well, what is this, a 3-0, 4-0? Either way, hello. How you doing, Dracovish? I wonder if this probably still dies to liquidation. Yeah, it's gonna be a 3-0 loss against me, which sucks. He definitely has like another attacking move, like any other attacking move is gonna kill me. Whether he has like X Scissor, knockoff, whatever, Brick Break, is that gonna kill me? Probably. Yeah, it does. So yeah, the miss sucked, and then obviously the getting Curse Body kind of sucked. The Curse Body didn't matter as much because he would have been able to go in after an agility up. I probably should have expected that. Like, expected potential setup from him. I expected a little bit late. But either way, that was a fun game. My opponent, his YouTube description will be... His YouTube link will be in the description below, so definitely check him out. I'll be uploading these... I'm not sure if we have a set upload schedule, but I'll be uploading this league in particular relatively often. By relatively often, I mean ideally once every week. So definitely sub if you're interested in that. And have a great day, everyone. Bye. Hope for wins later. Bye.